Hey guys, I just want to do a video today for you while I'm walking to the gym. So I want to tell you today about one thing that entrepreneurs don't do, and this is super important because it's something that, when I was younger I did all the time, and it almost ruined my life. It almost got me in prison. It's just something that's natural for people until you kind of learn that the problems with it and what you can do instead. But you see this in the Bible too. I'll just go ahead and tell you from the Bible. You see first in the story with Elijah, and he goes and does all this amazing stuff, and he calls out Jezebel. He tells them about, he says, he makes a sacrifice. He says, let's do a contest. We'll see if my God shows up with fire, then he's the Lord. If your God shows up with fire, Baal, then he's the Lord. And we'll do this real test, see which God has real actual power. And so when he did that, of course, God answered by fire, and it basically revival happened. They went and killed all the prophets of Baal, and it was amazing. But right after that, Jezebel heard about it, and then she sent her people to go tell Elijah that that if he's not dead by this time tomorrow, then she's gonna do it. Can't remember the exact words, but that was what happened. And right after that, he took off and he ran and he hid. So he didn't want to confront the problem, and instead he ran away from it and he acted like it wasn't there. So that's really the issue, is about confronting your problems versus running from them. And so the way that happened for me, when I was younger, it was a lifestyle of avoiding problems. I didn't like conflict. I didn't like to have any kind of thing, and so I liked everything to be peaceful, no arguments, no conflict, no anything. And so I'd run from all my problems. And so that ended up giving me a drug addiction, unpaid tickets, pretty much everything you could do wrong. I did all this stuff, and then I started getting caught with drugs, and then I started getting felonies, and it just got worse and worse until whenever I was just 19 years old, I ended up in prison, for drugs and selling and making them. So that's what avoiding your problems does, and there's nothing worse than that you could do for yourself. I walked a long way to the gym. I hope the cars aren't too loud over here, but it seems okay right now. In business, how's this look? Obviously there are lots of problems going on at the same time, and you can't deal with everything, but a lot of times what will happen is we'll try to do only the things that we really enjoy doing and and we're comfortable with, and we already know what to do, and then avoid everything else. And that is toxic. That's not going to help. So whenever you're in business and you have some kind of problem, it could be anything. Like, I don't have people to buy my product. I don't have whatever. What generally happens is, you have some kind of product you're trying to sell. You can't find people that are going to buy it, or you can't do it cheap enough to where you make a profit. Then what generally happens is you don't confront the problem head on, and instead you go about some other thing, like you go make the graphics better, or you change a I mean, it's pretty much anything. People will find anything to do other than actually confront the problem, which is usually they don't have an audience and a message that match up, so that their audience doesn't hear a message from them that makes them just want to buy, because the product, on the back end of that, is not the biggest issue. The biggest issue is actually getting those people that you can serve and talking to them about something that they're interested in and willing to give money for. And so until you've got that, the business isn't really going to work anyways. And so you can change the graphics, you can get somebody to run ads for you, or you can learn Facebook ads, but it's not going to help, because the core problem is being ignored at that point. So I think I need to go down this way. So so that's the main deal, is we gotta face problems head on and not run from anything that we don't like or anything that we don't want to do. Entrepreneurs, obviously, you've got to, at least successful ones, you've got to actually face the main problems. You can't avoid it and run from it. So whenever you're obviously going to be bombarded with tons of problems all at the same time, and so you got to find out what's that most important thing, and then just deal with that. Do whatever it takes to learn what you've got to learn, to find who you've got to find that can help you with that problem or whatever, because until you solve that problem, you're stuck. And when you are building businesses and trying to grow and things like that, the thing that's going to kill you is getting stuck, because we live off momentum, and whenever that momentum stops, it's the most discouraging thing in the world. And then when you're discouraged, it's very easy to quit. So I hope that helps you guys, and we'll talk again soon. Later.